Well, guys, terror has struck and pieces have been sent into play, but the terrifying consequences of the results of Damien Darhk's revenge and inner rage have only just begun. Hey guys, Cameron for Arrow, Season 4, Episode 22, Lost in the Flood, and I was definitely looking forward to this episode. Now, let me get to last week's episode real quick. I did not dislike last week's episode. It just felt very underwhelming. There was a lot going on. There was a lot that I felt really could have just been saved for the finale, but this episode is definitely more of what I like to see. I mean, this episode was honestly pretty epic. I really do see this, though, as part 1 of the finale, because that's exactly what this was. This was part 1 of the finale. Now, yes, most of the episode was a rescue mission. That was a big part of it. But this was still part 1 of the finale. Huge moves are made. I mean, huge things. You know, we very much know what's going to happen on next week's finale. I mean, we don't really have an idea, but we know how far Damien Darhk's going to go. We finally found out what's going on with Thea in this episode. But let's just get into this episode because I really love this episode overall. Probably one of my favorite episodes of the season. Even some good flashback stuff in this episode. Not even going to lie. I genuinely think there was some good stuff for the flashbacks here. And I honestly don't really know what's going to happen next week's finale. But let's just get into this episode because there's a lot to talk about. So we start off right where last week's episode left off. If we remember, we see Oliver and Diggle are trying to kill a seemingly omnipotent Darhk. You know, he seems like he is extremely hard to kill at this point, and he leaves the room to go take control of Reticon, leaving the two incapacitated. He just leaves them trapped there, and we know, of course, they're in this hole, basically, and they make their way out of his chamber of horrors just in time for it to collapse, which is crazy because you realize that he was going to let them there to die, which obviously we knew they weren't going to die, but just knowing that that is what he had planned for them. I mean, already things are really crazy, and the way that obviously they couldn't get through to Darhk. I mean, obviously Oliver, it seemed like he was going to have this battle with Darhk, but unfortunately Darhk got away because he has this whole plan for Reticon. Now I can understand if this pisses people off, but yes, we can't have that final battle with Oliver yet. It just can't happen yet. I totally understand that. You know, Arrow's always been one of those shows where that final confrontation, you know, between those two and that final fight does not happen until the next episode, you know, the next episode and everything, but I really loved the way it was done. It really does show, and I already said this last week, but it really does show, I think, how hard Darhk is going to be to take down. So in the arc, Thea wakes up, tries to make a phone call, but Malcolm and a number of ghosts show up. Turns out that Alex is dead. They killed Alex because Alex did not want to join them. Alex did not want to take the drug, and because of him not taking the drug, they killed him, and it's crazy to think, but I'm glad they killed Alex. Why? Because he just hasn't done anything for me. He has been, like I said, he's been very background. I think he has been way too extended of a character than he should be. He should have been in Oliver's campaign and then ended. I don't really think we needed this thing with Thea. I get they tried to create a dynamic there because they wanted to give Thea a romantic storyline, but just, it didn't really work, and especially knowing that Roy is coming back next season, I'm glad that they did kill off Alex. But we see Machen's also gone. We don't know where he's gone, but I'm glad he's gone. We don't know where he's gone, though. You're thinking that he's gone to Darhk, because obviously he wants to get his revenge on Darhk, and Malcolm has Thea taken into custody. So right away, things kind of seemed a bit toned down for Thea, but you're really trying to figure out what Malcolm's real motive is here, because there's obviously something he has planned, but we just don't know what it is yet. So at Felicity's apartment, the calculator turns off a news report about the nuclear attack. Curtis comes to see them and is impressed by Cutler, and Felicity gets a message and leaves the pair in charge of trying to figure out the Reticon issue because they don't really fully understand. They don't really know how they're going to be able to fix this. This is unlike anything they've dealt with before. I mean, what Darhk wants to do is crazy. We see at Hive Home Base, they've brought in Felicity's ex-boyfriend, we found, to try and wrest control of Reticon from Noah and Felicity, which is really crazy the way that was done. You know, basically, someone had to try to get those two to wrest control, and I thought that was interesting the way in which they tried to break those two up. You know, obviously, there's a lot of tension right now between Lance and Felicity and what's going on there, which I thought was really interesting. So in the lair, Lance is watching the news report and panicking, and Oliver can't get in touch with Thea. Now, I do again, I still feel they're struggling with Lance. I said it last week, and I'll say it again. what exactly are they trying to do here? Because I cannot tell for my life what they're trying to do with Lance. I don't know if they're setting up that he's just going to panic. I don't know if they're setting up that he's going to leave. To me, it seems like what they're saying is that he's going to end up leaving town. I mean, I think that's what's going to happen because I just don't see what role Lance plays in the show anymore. Now, yes, he is definitely going to be in Legends tomorrow, so there is that. We saw that clip where Sarah clears reacting something, so I think she's definitely going to get news tomorrow that her sister died, but again, that is, before the finale, so I'm thinking that Lance is going to end up leaving town because he just can't deal with it all. I just feel like that's the direction for the show, because I just don't really know what role or why Lance is even in the show anymore. I said it before, I just don't really know why he's here. So Oliver can get in touch with Thea. He has no idea where she is, but Felicity's in touch with her. She gets a GPS tag from the Glades on Thea's location, and Oliver and Diggle go off to find her, and that's where most of this episode takes place, is them trying to find Thea. Obviously, she's trapped. They want to get her away from they want to get her away from the Glades, and basically, we then see some really good island flashbacks in this episode. Actually, some really good stuff here. I've been very confused what's been going on all season, but I thought they did some good stuff in this episode. We see Oliver and Tiana are making their way to their escape when a pair of Reiter soldiers show up and shoot both of them. Oliver falls down, but Tiana's seemingly invulnerable, which gives Oliver the opportunity to shoot the men, and their spirits fill Tiana. The way that Tiana just can't be shot, it really is crazy to see. And now we're really starting to see how Oliver used to kill, and that Oliver did kill. He did shoot people, and this episode really does reiterate that, because of the fact that that's why we're seeing these. It's that we saw that Oliver that had the no-kill code now we're seeing back when he didn't have that no-kill code, and that he did kill, and that he was a lot more vicious and things like that, and we definitely saw that here, and I really did like seeing that, and I like seeing Tiana seemingly be unaffected. I thought that was very interesting as well, and I really like that. So at the Ark, Malcolm lectures Thea, telling her that he doesn't want to drug her to ensure her compliance, but he will. And she tells him to just get it over with, because she really can't fight him. I think she knows that, he's just going to be really persistent. And I think she just wants to get out of there, clearly. She wants to get out of there. She just wants to take the drug. And that's really interesting, is she actually saying, you know what, just get over it. Because I honestly think that she's thinking that she's, not safer with Malcolm, but that the only way to stop this from happening and to ensure everyone else's safety is if she just goes along with it and agrees. I feel like that's really what she's thinking, which obviously isn't the best plan, but there are rumors that people are saying that Thea might end up leaving to go with Malcolm, and that might be actually how her arc ends this season, which I could really see happening. There's been a big story that there's going to be a real big changing direction for Thea, and I could definitely see that happening here. So in the Glades, Oliver and Diggle can't see anything. Oliver quickly figures out that there's sewer access that shouldn't be there, dives in, and it's clear that Darhk has done this to make sure that they can't get there, because Darhk really has set up all the roadblocks, all the obstacles for them to make sure that they can't get there, that they, struggle the most with trying to find Thea, which obviously they want to do, but Darhk has set it up, so it seems like it's impossible to find her. And in the arc, Ruve is very unhappy with the fact that Malcolm and Team Arrow are still problems. She tells Malcolm to just get rid of Oliver because, that Machen, not Arrow, Machen, not Malcolm, Machen and Oliver and Arrow are still problems. And she wants Malcolm to just get rid of Oliver, just kill him. That's the best thing to do. Now, we know that Malcolm's not going to kill Oliver. We just know he's not going to do that. He had that whole fallout, and I think he also knows that he can't really beat Oliver right now. The fact that Oliver cut off his arm, the fact that Oliver had that whole fight with him, I mean, that really showed that Oliver is really just as strong as him, if not stronger. And I don't think it's that he's afraid of Oliver. I don't think that's what it is. I do think, however, that he's very aware that the best thing to do is that he really doesn't, he really just can't, he really just can't take down Oliver at this point. So the heroes follow the passageway to the underground tour. They realize that they found Hive's Ark, and Felicity loses the signal, and a call comes in from Curtis saying that they have an emergency. She goes to the loft, finds Curtis drinking a bell. He gives Felicity a sympathy hug, which I like seeing Curtis more because, of course, the guy that plays him, I can't think of his name right now, but he has been upgraded to a series regular next year, so this gives us more of an idea of what we're going to see next year. My only worry with that is that I feel like Curtis is going to end up being one of those characters that is an extended character that, that he's going to be one of those characters that is an extended character that got way too much screen time. And I feel like that's what's going to happen with Curtis. I'm not sure. I've liked what they've done with Felicity and Curtis in the show. I think it's been some of the best moments this season, some really fun stuff. But I just don't know if he really needs to be a main character. I mean, if anything, make Donna a main character, because Donna has some great scenes this episode. Because Felicity quickly takes a drink as Donna hugs her. Her mother wonders what's going on, and she assumes that she's going to be a grandmother. And Felicity quickly corrects her. She says that Noah has to save the world. That's what Donna's thinking, that she's pregnant, and that Felicity doesn't want to tell her about it. And Donna doesn't believe her that, Noah's back, and Noah tries to explain, and Felicity says that she's worked with Green Arrow for the last 3 years. Donna says that she's more like Noah than she thought, and Felicity says that they'll discuss it later. Felicity and Noah go to work, but something goes wrong, and I like the way that, now Donna knows what's actually going on, that she's worked with Green Arrow. I love seeing that, because she's hid this from her all this time, and finally Donna knows that, there's really no more hiding it, that Felicity's working with Green Arrow, and I really think it's confirming that Donna's gonna have a lot more involvement next year. I really could see that happening. And, in general, she's had a lot more to do this season than other seasons, because this season's been very Oliver Felicity based. But Felicity and Noah then go to work, but something goes wrong. In Tevet's, Noah, Green Arrow, and Spartan look around. They figure that the inhabitants are all mind controlled. They split to find Thea, and which is never a good sign. I mean, I understand what they were trying to do, but this just didn't seem like a good idea in hindsight. Green Arrow finds Alex's corpse. He sees Thea and her guards inside, takes out the ghost, and Green Arrow unties her. She kicks him back and draws the gun. She clearly is under the drug. She then calls to say that she has the intruder, promises to shoot Green Arrow if he moves. Malcolm quickly arrives and explains that Thea is drugged. Green Arrow says that Laurel is dead because of Malcolm. Malcolm asks what he's going to do if he won't kill him, because, yeah, Malcolm is the one that killed Laurel. It was not Darhk that killed Laurel. It was Malcolm that did it, and Malcolm asks what he's going to do if he won't kill him, because, he's really thinking he's just going to kill Oliver right now. And what is he going to get out of this if he doesn't kill him? So Spartan bursts in, takes out the guards. Malcolm and Felicity escape. The heroes run for it as ghosts chase them after them shooting. The two men duck into a basement, and the ghosts pass them by. Darhk demands answers from Cooper, and Cooper says that it takes more than magic, and there's definitely more than magic that it takes to take them down. So Spartan and Green Arrow go upstairs, confirm that the house is clear. The residents come in, and Green Arrow says that they're there to bring a captive woman home, and obviously that's Thea. So Ruve comes on the TV, says they are under attack by Green Arrow and Spartan. She orders the population to find and kill the heroes, and this was crazy. I mean, just knowing that not only is she sending Malcolm, but the entire city to go after Oliver and Diggle, yeah, it's a bit of a stretch, but it totally seems like something that this family would do. I mean, think of what, Oliver, what they've done to Oliver all season. Think of, the way that Ruve and Malcolm have both, the things that Ruve and Darhk have done to Oliver, what the situation that they've gotten them in and everything, and the problems that they've caused. It really doesn't seem unlikely that they do something like this. It really is crazy to see, but again, it doesn't seem unlikely that they do this. So 5 years ago, we see Tiana says that everything is alright, picks up the idol, heads for the dock. She says she's going to go back to her village to free her home from the government, because that's where she was initially, and Oliver reminds her that there are people on Lian Yu that need help, and asks her what Vlad would want her to do, because remember Vlad, I believe was her husband is who he's talking about, is Vlad. I don't really remember, but basically I like that he says, look, there are people on this island that need your help, and I like seeing that. I think there's a really nice conflict there. So and again, some really good stuff in the island flashbacks. I liked it. So in the present, in the broadcast center, Ruve finishes her broadcast. Malcolm and Thea join her. Ruve tells Malcolm to find the heroes first. Anarchy is hiding in the vents and watches them go, and Felicity and Noah realize that Darhk is using a counter hacker, and Curtis suggests that they use a smartphone to stop Reticon by overloading it with access requests until it shuts down. And when Noah doesn't believe it's going to work, Donna figures that they should just try it, that it's, it's worth a try. They don't really know how to stop this, so they kind of have to try anything. She said that Felicity got her creativity from her. Noah points out that he took a bullet for Felicity, and he didn't have any choice but to leave his family. And again, I like the internal struggle between Donna and Noah, because as much as Noah says it, Donna just doesn't see that Noah has good in him. I mean, I think Felicity's seen it, but Donna doesn't. And Cooper then hacks Felicity's computer, takes control, says that he'll take control of Reticon in 5 minutes. Cooper infects Felicity's computer with a virus. Noah and Felicity both recognize it, which, again, I love seeing Felicity's ex-boyfriend. That was really cool that we saw him here. And, Knowing Felicity recognizes it, he then sends an electrical surge to their equipment. They get a trace on Cooper's location. Felicity tells Donna that they'll send the surge back to Cooper. Curtis finishes the trace and activates it, and Cooper's computer explodes, blasting him back, which is crazy to see. Again, basically, that was really crazy, the way that was done. And the team confirms that Rubicon is offline, and Donna walks off without a word, because she doesn't really know what to do. She's thinking that, again, that no, it is not in their best interest at all, and he's just going to get them killed. Now, this is not going to end well for anyone. So into Novets, the father tries to call for help. Spartan punches him in the gut. The father says that none of them have taken pills, and they came there because they know the world is evil and darkness beyond saving. Promises were made to save Star City, but it fell apart, and Darhk gave them hope, and it really just showed why people have allied with Darhk, because really, Darhk has provided, told them that we're gonna make, the world better, and that we're basically gonna start over. The world is corrupted. We need to kill everyone, kill the weak, keep the strong, and we will rebuild the city. But of course, Darhk is never doing what's in their best interest. They just think he is, because again, I've said before, Darhk is just very persuasive. Darhk is someone that really will make it seem like he's on your side when you know he's not. And, even though you know he's not, you're still on his side. And the father asks if they can say the same, and they don't really know if they're going to give him that hope that Darhk has promised them, which honestly I can totally understand, because Darhk has provided them with this hope, and they really haven't. So what are they going to give them that Darhk can't? And basically, we'll go back 5 years ago, the slaves and mercenaries shoot out. Tyon and Oliver arrive. Tyon uses her magic to drive them off. Oliver finds a wounded slave. He asks Tyon to help him, but she says that his death is inevitable. Prepares to shoot the slave and make herself stronger. And again, the way that she was basically gonna let him die, I thought was crazy, but again, it makes sense, definitely. So we go back to the present. Donna's in her room, folding Felicity's clothing when Felicity comes up. She asks what Noah meant when he said he left against his will. And Donna explains that she was the one who took off with Felicity. We find out in this episode, and she wasn't going to gamble that Noah would change, and that's if she lost Felicity. Felicity assures her that she didn't and never will, and they hug. And I like seeing that. I like seeing Felicity say, look, you made the right decision. Obviously Noah at the time really wasn't trustworthy. That obviously, Donna wanted to get Felicity away from that so she didn't have to deal with that. And I like seeing Felicity say, you didn't make a bad, because I feel like Donna feels like she's the reason why this all happened, but it's really not Donna's fault. I mean, it's not her fault that Noah was corrupted and the fact of what he did and everything. Obviously, what he did is not justified. Like, we're not justifying what he did, but he has kind of turned himself around. He definitely does want to help them. So I did really like that scene there. In Tevat Nova, though, Spartan heads up the family. Green Arrow wonders if Darhk has a point, and he misses the world is coming apart just like Star City, and Darhk is giving people hope when they're not. And really, in many ways, he feels that he does have a point. That, Darhk is giving them this hope. They're not giving them hope. That's why people are allying with him. And Ghost knock at the door. Spartan sends the family to cover. Sends Green Arrow to find Theo while he holds off the Ghost. And I don't think that's Oliver saying, oh, this is why Darhk is right, and this is why we can't kill him. I don't think that's what it's about. I think it's more of, here's why all these people don't want us to kill Darhk, and here's what we will really do if we decide to kill Darhk. I mean, I think he really realizes that if they kill Darhk, the amount of people that'll be against them, the amount of people that are going to be possibly killing them. I mean, really catastrophic results, I think, are definitely ahead for these two, regardless of what happens next week, definitely. So, basically, he sends Green Arrow to find Thea while he holds off the Ghost, and Green Arrow goes outside. Thea attacks him. She prepares to shoot him. Green Arrow says that she can fight through it. Thea tries to throw off the mind control. Her brother reminds her that she never gives up, and it's a really nice scene because I like the way that Oliver somehow is getting her off this drug. You can already tell. So Spartan manages to take out the Ghost, but Malcolm gets the drop on him. However, Thea and Green Arrow arrive. Thea shoots the sword out of her father's hand. Anarchy comes on the TV from the broadcast center, shows that he has Ruve prisoner. He tells Darhk that in 20 minutes he's going to kill Darhk's wife or daughter, and then in 21 minutes he's going to blow up Tevat Noah. And we knew that obviously Anarchy had reasons for doing this, but the fact that he's going to go to those lengths, I mean, really is crazy. I mean, again, we knew that he was going after Darhk and what he was going to do, but I did not think he was going to do something that crazy. And you can really, I honestly do feel bad for Darhk because he does care about his family. He cares about Ruve. He cares about his daughter. They mean a lot to him. We know that he has a family of his own. And I think they've done a good job of doing that. That even though Darhk is this really powerful, maniacal villain, he does have a family, and he really does care about them. And he is a good father. You know, he's not a good father. His daughter loves him. Ruve loves him, and he loves them, and they mean so much to him. And honestly, it is kind of sad to see. I mean, I don't like seeing, it's not that I don't want to see Darhk dead, because I think Darhk is going to die, definitely, because it just seems like it's impossible to kill him. But at this point, I think they are trying to show that, Darhk just have a family, and that we should, not support him, but at least understand, why Anarchy is honestly kind of worse than Darhk. So Green Arrow brings the family out. Malcolm admits that they've yet to exterminate Anarchy, and, the difference between Anarchy and Oliver is that Oliver shows mercy, while Anarchy shows no mercy whatsoever and goes to extraordinary, unnecessary lengths to go after Darhk. So he says that Anarchy's the immediate threat, because obviously Anarchy's just going to cause them worse problems. If he's really going to kill Darhk's family, imagine what could happen. I mean, they could frame Oliver for that, and Green Arrow refuses to let anyone else die. He tells family to get out, and they agree, and honestly, I get what he's trying to do here. Rouvet obviously is not innocent, but the daughter is very innocent. The daughter's never done anything wrong. Don't let her die. He doesn't want to see a child die, and especially after Laurel, he really doesn't want to see anyone else die here. And Green Arrow then tells Malcolm to lead the evacuation, and when Malcolm refuses, Spartan draws a gun on him. Malcolm asks where he's going to evacuate the people, pointing out the world will soon be destroyed, but Green Arrow doesn't believe it because he has hope. He's hoping that the world is going to be saved and that the world's not going to be destroyed, but I don't know. Based on next week's episode, I'm really not sure if that's true, but realizing he has no choices, Malcolm leads the family out. Now, what I was thinking was going to happen is that Oliver was going to have to kill Anarchy. I really think that's going to have to happen, that it's not going to be Darhk that Oliver has to kill, Anarchy he needs to kill. We'll get into that, though. But we then see 5 years ago, Tiana insists that she needs the wounded man's life to power the magic. Oliver warns that the idol is warping her mind, because obviously it's making her really selfish and making her a lot more powerful, but Tiana throws him away, breaks the slave's neck, and this I really like, because there's some really great context between Thea and Tiana. Both of them are under this spell, well, not spell, both of them are under some sort of, mind control device, and they both are turning against Oliver when they normally wouldn't. So back in the present, Anarchy waits for Darhk to arrive. Rouvet says that he has no idea what power he's up against. She points out that he's planning to destroy the last safe place on the Earth, and the heroes arrive. Thea puts an arrow in Anarchy's leg. Smiley says the whole place is powered by dwarf stuff alloy. A stray shot will blow the whole place. Anarchy yanks the arrow out of his leg, prepares to stab Rouvet. Thea shoots it out of his hand. The shot hits a tank. The place begins to blow up. Anarchy plunges the arrow into Rouvet's chest. The three heroes attack him, and we get a really awesome scene here that honestly, like I said, really just feel like part one of the finale. As the street blows up, Anarchy leads people up. Anarchy holds off all three heroes at the base, blows up around them. Green Arrow protects Darhk's daughter, and Spartan runs to help them. Anarchy knocks Thea down, runs out. Green Arrow goes to Rouvet. Now let me talk about this. A lot of people have said that the scenes this year just felt too clean, and this felt really sloppy, actually. It felt sloppy. It felt like they didn't really know what to do, and it's not the whole team. It's only these three. It's not, it's only Thea, Spartan, and Oliver. They're the only ones that can take down Anarchy, and Anarchy knocks Thea down, runs out. Green Arrow goes to Rouvet, buried in rubble. She says that there's no time, tells Green Arrow to save her daughter. He promises, leaves with his teammates at the broadcast center, collapse behind them, and in the command center, Sheldon wakes up as Darhk gets word that something is happening in Tevat Noah, and explosions rock the Glade City as the structure beneath it explodes. Green Arrow, Thea, and Spartan go out, look at the destruction. Obviously, it was force field anyway, but Felicity contacts them. She says that Hive is locked out for good. Green Arrow says the people still need saving and hope, and they're far from over. They know they're far from over, but they at least were able to get rid of Anarchy. They were able to stop the city from exploding completely, and we see 5 years ago, we get one last great flashback. Oliver grabs the idol, tells Tiana the chef to kill Nageti. He's betting that she won't. Reiter then arrives and aims the gun right at Oliver, says that he'll kill both of them, and it seems like Reiter and Oliver are going to have this really big face-off. Is Oliver going to have to kill Reiter? We'll have to see what happens with that. I thought that was a really good way to end that, because again, I haven't really known where the flashbacks are going, but now it seems like we're going to have some really intense stuff next week, so I'm honestly looking forward to the flashbacks next week, because they made them a lot more interesting in this episode. So, then we get to the end of this episode. Malcolm returns to the command center, tells Darhk that Anarchy killed Rouvet, and that she's dead, and Darhk says that he knows someone who can get Rubicon back online, because he's going to make sure that Rubicon goes through. Obviously, that's his plan. He's not going to back down on Rubicon. Malcolm warns that Tevat Noah is buried, and there's no place on Earth that is safe, and grief-stricken Darhk figures that it can all burn, that he just wants to destroy it. He thinks that they should just destroy the world and start it over, but does Darhk really realize what he's doing? I don't really know. I mean, do you not realize you're going to blow up the entire world? You're going to basically, restart it, and you'll probably die in the process, so I don't really see what he's doing here. But we'll have to see what happens. At the loft, Donna then talks to Noah privately, asks him to leave and don't come back. She says that no one knows who he really is, figures that he's still dangerous to Felicity, and despite him saying that he's changed, she really just doesn't believe it. And Donna tells him that if he cares about Felicity, then he'll walk away, asks him if he believes that leaving is the best thing for Felicity, and it's sad because you can see that Noah doesn't really want to leave, but I think he knows that it's just the best thing to do, to leave Felicity. You know, Felicity, obviously, she can handle herself, Donna is good, Noah didn't really do much of anything, he kind of almost ruined things for them, and you know, really, he just needs to leave, and it's sad to see, but I really do think that's what he needs to do, so we'll have to see if he actually does end up leaving next week, or maybe something else happens. I kind of feel like he's either gonna leave, or he's gonna die. One of those two things are gonna happen. Inside, Felicity and Curtis then wonder what Felicity's parents are talking about. She finally says that Donna kicked Noah out so he wouldn't hurt Felicity when he went back to his old habits, and Curtis says it sounds a lot like what Felicity and Oliver went through, and that's kind of what it is, but kind of not. I mean, Noah was a criminal, Oliver was also kind of a criminal, but there's that as well, so I do understand what Curtis is saying, but they're not at all like Felicity and Oliver. I do kind of feel like that implies that they're not getting back together anytime soon, really, which I don't think Felicity and Oliver are getting back together by the end of the season. I just don't see that happening. So there's too much going on next week anyway. I don't see them coming back together, unfortunately, which honestly, I like those two together, but if they don't get back together, I at least want to see them as friends. I think they're good as friends. They have some really good dynamics, and I want to see more of that next season. So Donna comes in and says that Noah's going away for a little while. Darhk enters and it seems like Noah's actually leaving, but then Darhk enters, says that he needs, now I was thinking that he was going to pull a flash on them and actually kill Donna or someone. I was really like, someone here is going to die, but he says he needs Felicity to do him a favor. We don't know what that is, but that is how the episode ends. And overall, guys, really great stuff. I really enjoyed this episode. I thought there was some really intense stuff here. Darhk's plan is crazy. I don't really know what's going to happen here. Things look catastrophic, though, next week. Really, it looks insane. It looks like Darhk really is going to, go through with Rubicon, and he actually wants to destroy things and cause all this mass destruction, and it really is going to be crazy to see what happens there. But I do get what Oliver's saying. He has all these followers and he has all these mercenaries and all these people on his side because of the fact that he's really made them think that the world is corrupted and that there really is no one that can save it except Darhk. What they don't realize is that he's probably going to kill them all. So we'll have to see what happens with that. That's going to be very interesting. Now, as far as what he wants Felicity to do, I don't really know what stake she plays in this. Is Noah really going to leave? I mean, Donna told him to leave, so I'm thinking he's going to leave, but I'm not really sure. Who I also think is going to leave is Lance. I'm thinking Lance is going to leave because we got that one scene with him this week, how he's in distress, and I feel like he's trying to show that the world is just too much for him. He's going to have to leave town, and I could really see him doing that. I don't think Lance is going to die. Maybe he might die. I don't know. But again, I just don't see what role Lance really plays on next season. Now that Laurel's dead and everything. Yeah, Sarah's still out there. She's not coming back to Arrow, I don't think. I mean, we might see next week. Maybe tomorrow night she'll come back to Arrow. I'm not really sure. But that'd be really cool if she did. I don't think she will. But we'll have to see what happens with that. That'd be very interesting. I like what happened with Thea. I like that he was able to get her off the drug. I thought that was really good. I definitely really enjoyed all of that. Ruve died, which is very sad to see, and I do get why Oliver genuinely didn't want to kill anyone else, because, Thea's already died, doesn't want anyone else to have to die. He doesn't want Darhk to go through the pain that he did either, which is really interesting to see, and I like the way that that's going. I honestly did like the flashbacks in this episode. I think there's going to be some really good stuff between Oliver and Reiter next week. I'm looking forward to seeing how that all plays out, but overall, guys, I really enjoyed this episode. Really good stuff overall. Cannot wait for next week's finale. It's going to be really crazy. I know it's going to be crazy. They already said that next week's finale is going to be really brutal, and there's going to be a lot of people dying, which definitely, that's definitely going to happen. But let me know what you guys saw this episode. I really did enjoy it overall. And I will see you guys in my next video, which will be for the season finale of Empire, which I am hyped out of my mind for, and I will definitely see you guys for that. Okay, bye.